On this cloudy Wednesday evening, it is slowly getting towards us, folks. Texas High School playoffs in Division 5A. My district round is going to get underway in just about an hour, but first comes your way for the Bill Vic Ford countdown to first pitch. Hello, everyone. Collin, Neill. Alongside me once again is Christian Cortez. Christian, we're about 50 minutes away or so. I can kind of feel the intensity up in the air tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, a 2-hour drive coming in, everyone getting ready, prepared, get the batting cages. So far, Whitehouse has yet to come out, but Hornets already ready and warming up.
Of course, Whitehouse being the hosts, the home team for this go-around, at least that's what they agreed upon, because last year, Christian, it was just a neutral site, a 3-game series at a neutral site, rather. It was in Lufkin. Huntsville faced off against Hallsville. They got swept in 2 games, albeit the games were close, but they came up short once again. And this is a team that is desperately wanting to not just win a playoff game, which they've only won one since 2008, but 2008 is also the last time they won the first round in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know, it's been a while. You're going to be the 4th seed. Of course, you're going to be the underdog coming into this fight, but you just got to keep going. Try and get on. You start off early. You get the first at-bat. You're the away team. Start off early here. Try and win one on the road.
To recap exactly what happened for both teams in district play, first for the Huntsville Hornets. They win 8-7 in district play. They finish 4th in the district, right behind Kingwood Park, Porter, and Lufkin. Lufkin ultimately being the team that won the district, only losing 2 games. The Runaways, it seemed like at the halfway through district play, you already know who was going to win it. But Huntsville had an ample opportunity to fight for at least 2nd place. And Kingwood Park finished the season 9-6. You would think if Huntsville may have gotten at least gotten that win at home against Kingwood Park, and instead of getting run ruled, they probably wouldn't be here. They'd probably be facing Hallsville once again, in which Hallsville's kind of having a down year this year.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of things you can look back to of the what if is all you can think of right now. You know, what if they would be able to win the series against the Panthers? What if they didn't lose to NAC? What if they didn't blow the lead to Lufkin at home to start off the series? But right now you're in a position of where you are and try and make the best of it right now. You'll be able to host another playoff game, the 2nd game.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing that these both sides were able to come to an agreement. Of course, this game was supposed to be on Thursday right here, of course, and then Friday was going to be Huntsville, but due to some impending weather that's going to come into this area tomorrow, they decided to go ahead and play the first game on Wednesday. I don't know. I believe they're going to still have the Huntsville game on Friday because Huntsville's also going to experience that weather on Thursday, same as Whitehouse. Once again, though, Huntsville and a lot of key players are going to be back, you know, fully ready to go. Nolan Hunt got the week off, but I talked to him before the game. He's ready to go. I mean, to him, he just has to have that hitter's mindset, and he's going to be one of the key players to look out for.
Yeah, you know, being patient at your main guy, the hitting guy, being patient at the plate, able to get on, and that's what's going to get this Huntsville Hornets lineup through, just getting him on, going everything through, and getting runners. Just doing what you did in the first inning against Dayton is the way you have to try and go for the rest of the game. But we'll see how they can start off today. Yeah, and they did that without Nolan Hunt. Before we look into Whitehouse, let's look at the weather report presented by Bill Vic Ford. There were going to be some rain showers in the area, about 48% chance, but the chances died down as the week or day rather went on. 78 degrees, very windy. You could hear it once again through our crowd mic. And south-southeast winds coming at 9 miles per hour. Data courtesy of the Weather Channel at weather.com. Once again, that's your game time forecast presented by Bill Vic Ford. All right, Christian, let's look at Whitehouse real quick. And this is no slouch of a team. They're number 8 in 5A in Texas. They are District 15 5A champions. They were 23-7 overall, 11-3 in district play. 2-2, however, over their last 4 games. This regional semifinalist from last year kind of had a bit of a disappointing end to the district season by their own standards, but Whitehouse are a very dangerous team, and they can never be taken lightly no matter what. Yeah, now starting the playoffs, anything goes. They have much more to lose compared to Huntsville, and just try and go at it. This team, as you've said, they've been in the position in the playoffs. They know what they have to do to be able to win these playoff games and try and get one at home to start off this series. But we'll see how Huntsville's defense can contain them.
Whitehouse got some good pitchers. They got Michael Didolski. There are some murmurs going around that he might be starting here tonight. Don't know for sure. I don't even have both teams starting lineups. So of course, Christian, when it gets to this time in Texas high school baseball, both teams just want to keep a lot of things secret, especially up to the very second of first pitch when it comes to what they want to do against each other.
Yeah, you don't want to show your weapons early. You don't want to show your bag early. Show what you have. Try and prepare your players to see what is going to come at you. So both teams being real secretive and trying to keep anything away to be able to help anyone in any way in the teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We are live here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports here at Whitehouse Baseball Complex. A beautiful ballpark, some good turf. The dimensions, though, are pretty interesting, Christian. Before we head to our Coaches Convo presented by Bilfick Ford, got bullpens out down the left and right field lines, but they have that little bit of a short porch over there.
Yeah, it helps to get home runs in that porch. 320 in the corners, but at the same time, it's a robbable home run. At the same time, if you don't clear it, it's about, from here it looks about like 3 feet high, but then in left center 360, left center, right center 360, and then you have the batter's eye at 385. But like we said, the wind is blowing in. Feels to be right to left.
Yeah.
Same conditions as Dayton was last week.
Oh, that was some weather. I'll tell you, that was some wind that we had to deal with over the last week of district play. Those 2 times at Dayton. One thing though that the Hornets have, they're on a bit of a decent run. You know, they won back-to-back games to end district play, unlike last year where they lost the last game of the year on senior night against the very same Dayton Broncos. I think it's a good thing though, that the Hornets have some sort of winning times going heading into the postseason, because you don't want to end your district season on a loss, especially on a season where the Hornets had a lot of ups, but also a lot of downs.
Yeah, so it's always good to end your season on a win, especially 2 on the road. That helps a lot. And just difference now is the only difference between last week and this week is you're on turf.
Yeah.
So the ball will be, come at you a little easier. You'll be able to read it better compared to the dirt, and hopefully the errors compared to last Friday will adjust.
We'll see what happens here. It seems like everybody on the Hornets side of things is going to go tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see what head coach Justin Jennings puts together when it comes to his lineup and also with Whitehouse. All right, folks, that'll do it for the first segment of this one. Coming up right now is a special Coaches Convo. I not only got to talk with head coach Justin Jennings alongside our good friend at the Huntsville Item, Colton Foster, I also got to talk to all 6 seniors on this Huntsville Hornet squad. Gage Doris, Lucas Fullwood, Nolan Hunt, Holden Langley, Peyton Moore, and Brock Burns. Those conversations come right now, first beginning with the Houston Christian commit, Gage Doris. Bilfick Ford Coaches Convo, the special edition, begins now. All right, welcome to the Bilfick Ford Coaches Combo, the special one, rather. We're going to be talking to players. First off, starting with Gage Doris. Gage, 8-7 for district play, 4 straight playoff appearances for this team. You've been here for 2 years, though. Just what does it mean? Just what can you say about the district, and what does it mean to be playing postseason baseball?
Well, yeah, I mean, the district play was good. I mean, we learned some things throughout the way. We had some good competition. Porter, Kingwood Park, Lufkin. Those are some good teams to play against. I thought, we're in a good place now. We're ready for playoffs. We're excited, ready to go to Whitehouse. And, yeah, we're ready to go.
I don't know how much film you've watched. I don't know how much scouting you've done personally. But what is the thing or some things that y'all have to do to go against Whitehouse, who are, obviously one of the best teams in the state?
Right. Well, we're going to have to do a good job against their lefty that they got. He's got a big curveball. About 78, 80. We're going to have to be able to stay on that. And then they got a pretty good righty that, we're just going to have to be disciplined at the plate. Defensively, we're going to have to be ready for bunt. They like to bunt a lot. They like to do a lot of things on the bases. They like to run a lot. So we got to be ready for that. And, we're going to be prepared for it.
No, I know you've been hitting mostly, but you've been throwing a little bit here and there. And I know Coach has talked about, having all hands on deck when it comes to the playoffs, especially when it's a 3-game series. Just how do you prepare yourself for whatever role you're going to be potentially playing in?
Well, you just it's mental, really. It's really mental. You just got to, be ready for any situation. Just take care of your body, really, throughout. Take care of your body and, focus on what you need to do, whatever the job, whatever coach needs. Just be ready for it.
Yeah. And Gage, finally, just, obviously you're a senior, you're going to HCU, and in a few months, just what can you say about your baseball career? I know you started at A&M Consol, then you came here last year, but it seemed like every time I'm out here, you and the guys just no matter what happened, no matter if y'all are coming off a bad loss, a great win, a close win, or whatever, y'all just always seem to carry yourselves, apply yourselves, just keep on continuing the routine. Just what you can say about your career and what can you say about these guys?
It was amazing. It was amazing. Just go out and be able to compete every day. What I love doing, playing baseball, just going out and competing every day. Giving all I got. And as for the teammates, I couldn't ask for anybody else to take the field with. Yeah. They're great. They're great to go with. But yeah, amazing. It was fun.
No. Well, Gage, good luck there.
Right.
Good luck out there.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, up next is Brock Burns. Brock, I know you didn't go out there a lot, but I see you on the bench. You carry yourself, you apply yourself, you interact with your teammates. Just what can you tell us about? What can you tell me though, first of all, about district play? For y'all, I know y'all had some ups, y'all had some downs. Of course, just what can you say about it?
We got a good group of guys. I really feel like this team, when we apply ourselves, we can go far and we could do what we need to do, get the job done. District play is it's tough. It's really tough, but we got a good group of guys and they get the job done. And I'm just there, just cheering them on because I love each one of them.
There's not one you hate though, right?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. But yeah, Brock, obviously, new addition. Just what's it been like to be under the guise of head coach Justin Jennings?
Great. I love the ins and out of all of this, especially with the new facility. It's very nice. We get access that not a lot of other people get. So it's great. I love it. Yeah, I like it.
Well, obviously, let's get the elephant out of the room out right away. Whitehouse, tough. They're tough. They're going to be a tough opponent. Obviously, one of the best teams in the state. Just what do you think y'all have to do in order to shock a lot of people?
We have to beat them at home. I feel like we have to beat them at home, and then come back here and beat them here, and then we'll go 2-0, and then all the seniors can go to prom. So, yeah, I hope we can beat them 2-0, and then everybody just enjoys themselves, get a good night's rest, and then come back.
Well, Brock, before I let you go, just what can you say about your time here? What you can say about your time here as a senior, and just your final thoughts, basically.
It's been rough, but I like it. I like the challenge and coming here every day, applying myself, trying to get better, and just feel like it's a good fit for me. We're going through adversity and stuff, so I like it.
All right, Brock, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, up next, the lovable, the great, I guess, Nolan Hunt. I'm just only messing with you so that way I can, get you laughing.
Of course.
Well, Nolan, just what can you say about district play? Because, y'all had a lot of ups and downs, great times, bad times, especially for you, because I know the second half has been quite the time for you in one way or another. Just what can you say about district play, what you've done, and what it's going to be like heading towards playoffs?
Oh, yeah. The first time we went through seeing each team one time, we put up a solid fight against every single team. And then we go into Porter and we get 2 wins. We just squeak out and then carry that into Lufkin. And, Lufkin just wasn't our group. They're a good club. And then we take one from Cape Park and we just continue our season strong. We drop another one to NAC. I mean, it is what it is. It's baseball. At the end of the day, every team can win. But, you know, we finished it strong with 2 good wins against Dayton, putting up some good amount of runs on that last game, which we were struggling hard with. You know, it's good to see that we can put up those kind of numbers against the team and just carry that on in the playoffs. You know, I couldn't be there to help the team, but I'm glad that I could do what I could.
What personally, you know, it's your senior year, just like it's been, like I said, been quite, you know, the ride for you. Just what can you say about yourself that you've personally worked on and you've seen yourself get better at, whether it's on or off the field?
Well, you know, I've gotten closer we've all gotten closer as a group here. We're a lot better friends off the field too. We do a lot more than just show up to the field and play this game. We're with each other outside. We're with our families are with each other. We're just all having a good time. And, you know, this just helps on the field. You just stay relaxed. You play the game how you should, and everybody's gotten good outcomes from it. The closer we get to our goal of just winning each day, going 1-0 on the day.
Yeah. We're going towards Whitehouse. I hear y'all talking about it. Obviously, there's no secret of how good they are. They're a really good club. They have some history behind it. And just what can you say about Whitehouse and what y'all got to do against them to, make a huge upset? It could be one of the biggest ones in recent memory in Texas high school baseball.
Well, you know, they're going to have some energetic noises and groupings going on. They're a very lively school. They take a lot of pride in what they have. So, you know, with a good club like that and a good environment like that, you know, every little piece counts, and we can't just get down on ourselves. So we have to create the energy on our side whenever they're trying to create it against us. So each little bit matters, and if you make a mistake, you just have to drop the anchor and move on. I mean, you have to win each pitch and win each inning. You just have to go 1-0 on the moment. You can't dwell in the past.
And lastly, just, you know, you've been here, obviously, all 4 years. You're with when y'all were over there at Cape Bar, and then in your final year here, your senior year, you get to play at the new facilities, and then you go on to Western or whenever you go there, of course. What can you say about your time here as a Huntsville Hornet?
You know, it's been a change for me. I've learned a lot. There's been a lot through the school district that's helped us with this new field and the change of everything. And Jennings' first years of coaching here have been through me, and just seeing that, and it's been a change for my whole entire baseball career, and I'm very grateful for this community. And, you know, I've got to be able to be a starter for all 4 years that we've gone to the playoffs, and that's pretty special. So I'm just hoping that we can do more than just appear there and maybe just make a second round appearance. You know, I'd say this is probably the best club besides my freshman year Hallsville State runner-ups. This is probably the best club, but it's also probably our best chance that we have had to get to the second round.
All right, Nolan, thank you for your time as always, my man. All right, up next is Lucas Fullwood, senior right-hander. Lucas, you didn't play last year, but then you came back and you made a couple appearances across district. You know, some situations just to put out the fire, but other situations were pretty big, like the save last time out against Dayton just to get out of it, but also that one big inning you had against Porter. Just what can you say about district play and just your thoughts overall?
We definitely have some tough opponents that we have to face, especially like K Park and Porter, and especially Lufkin, especially with having to play them all 4 years I've been here.
Yeah. And
they're definitely some good competition, and I like to put myself up against that to get better and hopefully make it to the next level.
You know, I've heard Jennings said, you know, all hands on deck, like everybody, you know, you can think of could pitch. How do you ready yourself whenever your number gets, when potentially your number could get called?
I just stay locked into the dugout and ready to go whenever. Yeah. Just always have a ball in your glove, ready to go out to the bullpen or go throw weighted balls or shoulder tube or any of that. Just always stay ready and loose.
You know, as a senior, you know, you've been here, and you've been here, done that. You've seen a lot of stuff. You were here when y'all playing at Cape Bar, and now you're here with this new facility. Just what could you say about your senior year, and just what can you say about that?
I've had a lot of fun despite not playing much, but I'll take all my 1-2 inning appearances that are most of the time zeros. I'll take that any day. And this facility is super nice, and I'm definitely grateful that I got to spend at least 1 year here.
Hey, what about that double you hit,
Yeah. It was a lucky swing.
A lucky swing?
It was an outside pitch.
Okay, you still hey, if it's an outside pitch, you got the power to one-hop the wall. I take that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, lastly, Lucas, like I said, senior year, just what can you say about your time here in Huntsville, and just what can y'all do against Whitehouse, or to get the win against Whitehouse?
My time here has been pretty fun, to be honest, and I know a lot of people like to hate on Jennings, but he's actually a really good coach, and the fact that he's got us to playoff 4 years in a row after not going for 20-plus years here is definitely exciting. So, and then to beat Whitehouse, we just have to be on our A game the whole time, stay locked in the dugout, make sure our hitting continues, and we start hitting a little better, and then pitching's just got to be spot on.
All right, Lucas, thank you for your time as always, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, up next is Holden Langley, shortstop for the Huntsville Hornets. Holden, like I said to the other guys, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of great wins, some bad losses. Just what can you say about district play and about y'all guys heading into the postseason for the 4th year in a row?
Yes, sir. It's been really good. We started the season off really strong, came into district and struggled here and there with certain things, but we've got it back together towards the end of district, and I feel really good going into playoffs.
What can you say about yourself as a player? I mean, this year, you've been holding down that shortstop position. In high school, it's one of those positions where it's got to be on point, and you've been on point. Just what can you say about yourself as a player and how you've been growing over this senior year?
Yes, sir. It's been really good. Freshman year, I came in and Coach saw a lot in me, and at that point I knew I had a chance for when I was on varsity, and so when I got that chance my sophomore year to show Coach that I could play at that level, I began starting my junior year, which was great and had a good year, and then senior year coming and getting to play on turf every game made it a lot easier and more fun on my part too.
What are you seeing against Whitehouse? Obviously, one of the best teams in the state, no doubt about it. They're a good club, a lot of history behind it. Just what can you say that y'all are going to have to do against Whitehouse in order to shock a lot of people in the state?
Yes, sir. We definitely know it's tough competition, but we have watched them, and obviously they don't have 3 of their good guys, and so that there will give us a little bit of a chance. And then I feel like if we can just execute offensively, slow our minds down for the slower pitcher and just hit the good righty like we always do, good righty pitchers, then we should be fine as long as we can stay strong on offense. All
right, Holden, before I let you go, just from Cape Bar to here at the new Huntsville ISD baseball and softball complex. I mean, you've been through it all your 4 years. Just what can you say about your time here as a Huntsville Hornet, especially under head coach Justin Jennings, going to the playoffs for the 4th straight year in a row? Just what can you say about all that?
It's been great. It really has. I've enjoyed every moment of it. We've been through the trenches at Cape Bar, and then to get to come here the senior year is really special. So this last playoff run will be a special one for me.
You miss that dirt, don't you?
Nah, not at all.
All right, Holden, thank you for your time, my man.
Yes.
All right, and finally, Peyton Moore, senior outfielder. I mean, I've seen you all over the place, my man.
Yes, sir.
But mainly this year, you've been the courtesy runner for the Hornets, whether it's running for Noah, whether it's running for Gage, or whoever, and pitcher, whoever it may be. Just what can you say about this year? Obviously, your senior year, 8-7. A lot of great wins, a lot of bad losses, ups, downs, peaks, valleys. Just y'all been through it all this year, especially with being in the new facility. Just what can you say about this year and then heading towards the postseason?
I mean, it's been something else. Being able to play in the new stadium, it's been awesome, and being able to really grow with the team. They're like brothers. Our bond has definitely grown a lot stronger. We definitely have made a stronger bond than in years past, and it's just good to know leaving this season, regardless of what happens, I'll have brothers behind me, and I'll have friends that I'll be able to take wherever I go in life.
What can you say about yourself personally about this year? I mean, people will see, you being a pinch runner as just being a pinch runner. All you're doing is running bases. It's not that hard, right? Well, I mean, for people that didn't play the game, maybe it looks like that, but you still play a key, vital role to this team. Just what can you say about yourself?
I mean, yeah, it's not as easy as it seems. You're watching a lot of stuff. You have to know your situation at all times, and just knowing what's best for the team, what you need in your situation. It's not as easy as people make it seem.
Yeah.
But it's a fun role. I love running bases, always have. And so I'm glad I get to help the team out in that way, and that be my role, is to just run.
Yeah. Y'all are going on against Whitehouse. It's obviously one of the best teams in the state, top 50 in the state rather, top 10 in 5A, and a lot of history behind it. Just what do you think y'all have to do against the Wildcats in order to pull off one of the biggest upset in recent memory?
Man, we just have to keep our energy high. That's the past few games. We've come into the games high energy. Like last game, we got 10 run-ins in the first inning, and then not much after that. And our energy was just dead. Going in against Whitehouse, who's a team that high energy, like the whole time. We have to match that so we're not dead and beat the whole time.
And finally, Peyton, before I let you go, just, what can you say about your time here as a Huntsville Hornet? Just overall being under head coach Justin Jennings.
It was rocky in the start, but once I started to build a bond with him and get on his good side, it has been amazing. 4 years looking back on it, not much I regret. Just I'm gonna miss it whenever moved on to college. It's been fun.
Oh, where are you going to go to college?
Texas State.
Texas State. Oh, you got to go to Sam Houston, man.
No, no, sir. Texas State. Get away from home a little bit.
We're the better cats. You know that, right?
No, not at all.
All right, Peyton. Thank you for your time as always.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Up next is my talk with head coach Justin Jennings in partnership with Huntsville Item's very own Colton Foster.
I think it's the fourth year in a row you made the postseason. Just kind of, what was it kind of like getting there and, back in the postseason?
Well, this year was a pretty interesting year for us, honestly. Had more injuries this year than we've had in the past. Had a lot of different combinations of lineups than we've played in the past. And that was due to several things, injuries and then guys not producing and some guys missing some time here and there. So just a little bit different from that regard this year. We felt like this was one of the better clubs that we'd had going into it. Offensively, we've underachieved a little bit. I felt like we would be a little bit better offensively, but all in all, we're where we want to be. Yeah, we'd rather not be a 4, but we've went into this thing the last 3 years as a 4, and we've played well with anybody that we've played. So not too concerned with that at this point. We need to do a few things offensively a little bit better, and outside of Van, we need to throw the ball a little bit better. So getting some guys back off injury, that'll help, and we're just happy for our kids and excited to be where we are.
You used to be district mixed with Whitehouse. Does that kind of play into it, any y'all going into this, even though it's been 2 years and it's kind of a new crew on each side?
I think it helps because it's a lot of the same guys. They played, a lot of these guys that are playing for them now have played for 2 and 3 years. A lot of the pitchers we've already seen, position players, we're pretty familiar with them. We've kept in contact with a lot of those guys, still playing, Lufkin and Nacogdoches, up there in East Texas, even though it's a different district. But, we're pretty familiar with them. We know what they bring to the table. We know what they're going to do. Very similar to K Park. They're going to bunt. They're going to run a lot. And, from Porter, the regard of Porter, they're going to throw it pretty well. So I think it helps. Our kids won't be intimidated at all. We know what the atmosphere's like. We know what their kids are like, and we know what we're going to get from them. So I do think it helps some.
Vance kind of took on that Tuesday role as the number 1 starter for this squad. Just what's it been like seeing him kind of evolve after? I don't really think he was supposed to be kind of y'all's ace this year, but what's it kind of been like seeing him just develop and kind of become that head guy?
Well, I mean, he works really hard. Him and Colton, we knew him and Colton would be pretty good for us this year just by the way they work, the way they go about their business. I tell people in the 4 years, the 3 years those kids have been in the program, they do a better job playing catch than anybody I've had here. Just with their long toss and their arm care and everything they do to prep themselves to throw each day. So, and they do a great job during the summers. They work their tail off and do, what they need to do. So we knew he was going to be pretty good. We didn't expect him to be this good right now. We kind of more, figured he would be that guy next year as a senior, but, he's come along and he's done, what we needed him to do. And in fact, we haven't been real good on Fridays down the stretch. And, he's essentially been our saving grace. Without him, we'd be in a little bit different position than we are right now.
Offensively, you kind of hit on it, it's kind of underperforming this year, but now coming off a game, I think it was 11 runs against Dayton. Just how do you want to see that progress with the full strength back in the lineup?
Well, there's too many. We have too many lulls throughout the game. Just times where we lose focus and we get away from what we're trying to do, and that's kind of the big thing about once you get into a playoff run is you really need to execute what you do. You need to have an approach and have a plan, which we always do, but sometimes we lack the attention to execute it. So we've got to do a better job of that moving forward, and I think we will. Everything is a little ramped up, come playoff time, but we had. We talked a little bit before we started today, and we had a really good conversation about everything we wanted to do and what we're going to try to do, and they've been pretty locked in. So it's just at this point, it's about executing it, and I think we'll get a great effort from them.
And just lastly for me, you get to play a home playoff game here on Friday, potentially. I guess it could change, but just what does that mean to be able to kind of use this new facility to host a playoff game? And we've seen the atmosphere before at Cape Bar. What do you kind of expect here?
Well, that was my number one thing. I wanted to make sure and play a home playoff game. Even, we had already kind of joked with Coach Wally at Whitehouse if we were to play, or Hallsville, if we were to play Hallsville again, that we were going to, do a home and home because they wanted to come here. They wanted to see it, and I wanted to be able to host one as well. So I think it's huge for our kids. These seniors have made 4 straight playoff appearances, and now they get to play, a home playoff game at their new facility. So, I don't really think you can put into words how big that is for them and for our program and for the community. So, just really excited for that opportunity.
Coach, talking about those 4 seniors, six, whatever.
I was waiting for it.
Whatever, man. Anyway, one of the 6 seniors, Gage, he came in last year, first year, so he's never seen Whitehouse, and ultimately Whitehouse has never seen any of your pitching. Just does the mystery of it kind of play into y'all's advantage, or is it just kind of one of those things where it doesn't really matter?
Well, given that KSAM broadcasts all our games every week, I don't think it really matters. There's so much video out there. It's a little different than seeing them in person, but there's so much out there, man. It's you're pretty familiar with everybody. We were pretty familiar with their guys, but we went ahead and went over Saturday and watched them just so we could see them with our own eyes. But there's so much video from Perfect Game and all these camps and showcases they go to that everybody's pretty familiar. You just do a little bit of research and you can find pretty much whatever you need. So, and we've played them before, so they're going to be familiar with us, and I'm sure he got some guys he can get some info on us. So I don't think that really matters too much.
How big is your depth going to be, especially in this 3-game series?
Well, we're getting a couple guys back, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anytime you get in a playoff series, the depth could be paramount. You know what I mean? It especially if you split the first 2 games and get into game 3, there's just so many things that factor into that. So we feel good about that. Obviously they got one really good arm, and he's going to be really tough to beat. It'll take a tremendous effort for us, but if we can scratch one and get to a game 3, I like what we have, even though we haven't thrown it well of late. I still like what we've got with some of our guys, so I would still feel pretty good about that.
And how do you, on paper, people will obviously point out the huge, favorite, who's the underdog in it. How do you keep your guys motivated? I know you had a talk with them, but how do you keep your guys motivated?
Man, I think the motivation for them is the fact that we've played Hallsville 3 years in a row, and they've been a heavy favorite, and we've played them well. We play a pretty tough schedule year in and year out, so there's going to be double-digit losses. Not to say that they don't. They have a good staff, and that's allowed them to play well in tournaments and win a lot of ball games. But I think the motivating factor, just the fact that we've been there 3 years in a row, and we've won a couple games here and there, and we've pushed we've pushed Hallsville to the brink before. I don't think it really plays that much into it. I think our kids will be motivated, and they'll be ready to go, and they'll expect to win, and they'll play like they expect to win, and that's all we can do.
Yeah, and they've also experienced a playoff atmosphere before. I remember last year in Hallsville, especially that Friday night game. That was one of the most intense games I've ever been a part of, whether it's broadcasting or being a fan or whatsoever. But it's over the season, I kind of see the guys seem to welcome the kind of moment. They don't they don't really let it sway how they prepare, how they go about things in practice. Every practice I've attended, body language been mostly the same. They still go through the routine. They do it without I would hope without going against it. So, yeah. But just what can you say about your guys and the way they've applied themselves and to lead them to this big series?
Well, we just talk about faceless opponents. It doesn't really matter who we're playing or who we match up with. We just try to control what we can control, and that's us. We try to focus on what we do to put ourselves in situations to be successful. We try to focus on our approach at the plate and what we're good at on the mound and what we're good at defensively. So that's kind of our thing. We just talk to our kids about faceless opponents and just make sure we do what we need to do to be successful, and that usually helps. These kids, they turn the page nowadays so quickly. They don't really sit on really anything bad or good very long. So, we just try to talk to them about what we want to do and what we're going to do, and we just want to implement that the best we can.
All right, Coach, before I let you go, when it comes down to it, scouting reports aside, film aside, what you hear from other people, when it comes down to the grass and dirt or turf in some instances, what's going to be the key or keys to shocking a lot of people?
Well, we're going to have to do a better job offensively. We're going to have to stay within ourselves and stay with our approach and do what we like to do. And when we get some opportunities as guys in scoring position, we're going to have to execute. We're going to have to do a good job of executing. And if we get into a game 3 situation, we get into towards the end of the series, we're gonna have to do a better job on the mound. And like I said, we know what we're going to get from Van. We know he's going to give us a chance to win, whether that's Wednesday or Thursday. And then we're going to have to just do a good job of matching up with them from there. And it's like I said, it's going to take us being a little bit better offensively, and then we're going to have to throw it better towards the end of the series.
That's all I got. Cool. Thank you, Coach.
How much?
I'm Kobe Lovell, 2020 World Champion header, 7-time NFR qualifier.
I'm Ricky Canton, 15-time NFR qualifier, and currently hold the world's record in the calf roadman.
I'm Cody Johnson. I'm a platinum recording country music artist, cowboy team roper.
And I'm No Bull Bill, and I sell trucks. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, at least I sell them to the cool people.
Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station. playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, ksam1017.com.
At Mid-South Fiber Internet, we understand the importance of quality service.
We don't just work here, we live here too.
Helping our communities any way we can.
Connecting communities one line at a time.
Working around the clock for you.
We are committed to service.
Committed to our communities.
We are committed to you.
Mid-South Fiber Internet, local, reliable service you can count on. Sign up today at midsouthfiber.com.
Huntsville wakes up to the all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy. Get a positive start on your workday with local news, weather and sports, and some inspiration and laughs to warm you like a hot cup of coffee. And now you can join the daily conversation with Brian and Tracy by calling or texting the KSAM listener line at 936-295-4102. Come on, neighbor. The all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy on 101.7 KSAM.
Affordable Plumbing Incorporated in Huntsville is a proud supporter of Hornet softball and baseball. Family owned and operated since 2000, Affordable Plumbing serves the plumbing needs of Huntsville, New Waverly, Trinity, and other surrounding areas. The company is backed by years and years of experience and strives to support the community in a courteous and professional manner for all your plumbing needs. Call them at 936-291-7886. Again, that's Affordable Plumbing at 936-291-7886. Sting 'em, Hornets!
Find us on social media on both Facebook and X at KSAM1017. Also be sure to subscribe to the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything going on with your hometown radio station.
Welcome back, folks, to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports. We're still in the Bilfick Forward countdown to first pitch. We're about 8 minutes away before we get things underway here in Whitehouse, Texas. As you can see, Huntsville Hornets are about to be almost done with their fielding warm-ups. Christian, it feels like as we get closer and closer to that 7 o'clock mark, you can see all the Whitehouse fans filing in. Huntsville fans arriving a little late. Of course, like you said, 2.5 hour drive, and hopefully they're not stuck behind an 18-wheeler, most of them. That's going below the speed limit, but you know what? It is what it is. We definitely don't speak from personal experience, but Christian, the environment is slowly going to be recognized here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, you hear a lot of horns already. You have people parking all over the place in the grass. That's when you know the parking lot's filled. And, yeah, it's getting real packed in here. When we got in here, there was already lawn chairs lined up on the third base line.
That was crazy.
So, yeah, it's going to be a real playoff environment here tonight.
Well, let's go ahead and get to the starting lineups presented by Bilfick Ford. First, for the home team, the Whitehouse Wildcats. Here is the lineup. They are head coached by Greg Branch, and they are assisted by Cody Hines, Jason Klinger, and Colton Peak, with the managers being Britt Williams and Mason Morton. Leading off tonight for the Whitehouse Wildcats, going to be number 11 designated hitting tonight, Garrett Hayes. Batting second for the Wildcats, wearing number 6 at second base, someone to keep an eye out on. Again, wearing number 6, JoJo Adams. Batting third, wearing number 16, the catcher, Keegan McCord. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter tonight at third base, number 27, Peyton Blackman. Batting fifth and starting pitcher tonight for the Whitehouse Wildcats, a very surprising one since he played and pitched on Saturday. It's going to be number 23, the Dayton Flyers commit, Michael Dodolski. Batting sixth, wearing number 12 in left field, Ty Davis. Batting seventh, wearing number 2 in center field, Logan Garrison. Batting eighth, wearing number 7, Michael Morton. He'll be at first base tonight. And to round up the batting order for the Whitehouse Wildcats, wearing number 10 at shortstop, Ben Reed. And Hunter Cook, wearing number 34, will just be in right field tonight for the Whitehouse Wildcats. Again, it's Hayes at DH, Adams at second base, McCord at catcher, Blackman at third, Dodolski pitching, Davis in left field, Garrison in center, Morton at first, Reed at shortstop, and Cook in right field. And if that wasn't a surprise to you folks, get ready, because here is the starting lineup for your Huntsville Hornets, once again presented by Bilfick Ford. Here it is, right here. Josh Stanley leads things off. Of course, that second part is wrong. It'll be not Austin Taylor at the second spot in the order. It's going to be Gage Doris. Of course, Austin Taylor has been seeing a lot of time in the field in his own part. Let me fix that real quick. Bam, there it is. Easy does it, folks. Josh Stanley, Gage Doris, he'll be in right field, actually, not left field like he has in past. Noah Nieto at catcher. Nolan Hunt is back in the lineup. He'll be designated to hitting tonight and batting fourth. Austin Taylor batting fifth. He'll be in right field. Batting sixth, Johnny Waddell. He'll be in center field. And here is where things get interesting, folks. Van Brady is hitting tonight, but he will be at third base. Brian Parker Jr. batting eighth will be at first base. Holden Langley's at shortstop batting ninth. And then on the mound tonight for the Huntsville Hornets is going to be the right-hander Lucas Fullwood. Christian, some surprises when it comes to both sides. For the Whitehouse Wildcats, they have Dodolski going out there on 3 days rest. And for the Huntsville Hornets, they have Fullwood going out there instead of Van Brady. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's a big surprise on both sides. Trying to test things out. Maybe Van goes better for the second game, but we'll see how it works out. Huntsville trying to get her way on these, like you said, the Dayton Flyer commit. And can you pronounce that?
Michael Dodolski.
So, yeah, but there's a reason why the coaches are on the field, and we're right back here. They know something we don't.
I mean, it is going to be very important for the Hornets to at least grab this first game, because guess what? If the Hornets grab this first game, guess what happens? And there are some murmurs going around whether or not that the Huntsville game will be either on Thursday tomorrow or on Friday. So either way, we're here tonight. It's Wednesday night. Texas High School playoff baseball about to come your way here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. You can see the coaches gathering up at home plate on the left side of your screen. Before we step aside and get ready for first pitch, Christian, what are your keys to the game presented by Bill Fick Ford?
Try to get a good start offensively. You're away team. You got to get on, try and get things going. See a couple pitches. Get ahead late, early, and defensively, try and get that first out. If you can get that first out, it can help you through the long run. Like we said before, off the air, this team is known for its bunting.
They bunt like crazy.
If you can get that first out, then it can prevent that bunting from occurring. Try and get that first out, and as always, have fun.
Yeah,
you gotta have fun. You can't be tight trying to play a game. You gotta have fun. And yeah, we'll go there tonight.
It's crazy. Because Huntsville, a lot of what they practiced over the past few days was bunting, and it's going to be really on the infielders, including the pitcher in Fullwood, Nieto, Brady at third, Langley at shortstop, Stanley at second, and Brian Parker Jr. They have to be able to communicate and know what their assignment is when it comes to the kind of bunt. Bunts are very unpredictable in their own right, but they got to find a way to defend it near 100%. But it feels like in this kind of atmosphere, against this kind of opponent, you have to be perfect to get the win here tonight and have a shot at shocking a lot of people in the state of Texas. Folks, coming up next is first pitch here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Huntsville Hornets taking on the number 8 team in 5A, the Whitehouse Wildcats. We'll be right back on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network right after this.
Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, KSAM1017.com.
Number 49, Jackson Slater. Batting first, playing at second base, number 6, Josh Stanley. Batting second, playing in right field, number 7, Gage Doris. Batting third, catcher, number 3, Noah Nieto. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 9, Nolan Hunt. Batting fifth, playing in left field, number 1, Austin Taylor. Batting sixth, playing in center field, number 5, Johnny Waddell. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 4, Van Brady. Batting eighth, playing first base, number 28, Brian Parker Jr. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 2, Holden Langley. And the pitcher, number 12, Lucas Fullwood.
Hey, Lucas.
And now for the Whitehouse Wildcats, double zero, Bryce Bryant. Number 1, Wayne Hooker. Number 3, DJ Hester. Number 4, Collin. Number 5, Ron West. Number 8, Dylan Acker. Number 9, Tyler Keene. Number 14, JJ Jogger. Number 15, Chris Woodley. Number 19, Mason Johnson. Number 21, Brandon Wilcox. Number 33, Sarah Wilcox. Number 34, Hunter Cook. Batting first, the designated hitter, number 11, Greg Hayes. Batting second, playing second base, number 6, JoJo Adams. Batting third, the catcher, number 16, Keegan McCall. Batting fourth, playing third base, number 27, Colton Blackman. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 23, Michael Buzowski. Batting sixth, playing in left field, number 12, Ty Davis. Batting seventh, playing in center field, number 2, Logan Garrison. Batting eighth, playing first base, number 7, Michael Morton. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 10, Glenn Reed. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Find us on social media on both Facebook and X at KSAM-1017. Also be sure to subscribe to the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything going on with your hometown radio station. This broadcast is copyrighted by KSAM Sports for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any other transitions or counts of the game without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and Huntsville High School Athletics is strictly prohibited. The following is a presentation of KSAM Sports.
inside the house that Patrick Mahomes built. It is Texas 5A high school baseball here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, presented by Wiesner of Huntsville. Tonight begins the by-district round of this three-game series between the Huntsville Hornets and the Whitehouse Wildcats. Hello, everyone. Collin, Neill, alongside is my broadcast partner for the night and cameraman Christian Cortez on the mound tonight to begin this one for both sides for the Whitehouse Wildcats. It's going to be number 23, the right-hander committed to Dayton, Michael Dudolski. Michael Dudolski has a lot of stuff that he can showcase. He can sit in the high 80s. He can get up to 92 miles an hour. Christian, he did, however, pitch on Saturday. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do, especially on 3 days rest.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's been on 3 days rest, I'll tell you that, but we'll see what they can start off with. Like you said, he has a lot to his repertoire. He can throw that fastball. He can get slider down and in. See what he starts with off, but I think for Stanley, just try and see some pitches. Most likely it's going to be a fastball coming in.
Tonight's video broadcast is presented in 2K Quad HD with 4K Ultra Enhanced HD presentation. Closed captioning is available for the hearing impaired. Glad to have you with us here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, whether you may be tuning in, whether you're a Huntsville Hornet fan or a Whitehouse Wildcat fan. Glad to have you with us here on this beautiful evening here in Whitehouse, Texas. Michael Dudolski winds up. First pitch at 7:06 p.m. is outside for a ball, and we are underway. Josh Stanley now stands in for the Huntsville Hornets. Second baseman swings at that pitch. That will go out of play to even the count at 1-1. Here's one thing about this top of the order for the Huntsville Hornets. They can hit that heater pretty well.
Yeah, they've been able to hit the inside, and Stanley been able to get a home run as well as Nieto on the top of the order.
Next pitch to Stanley is outside the zone for ball 2. 2-1. Get your defensive alignments for the Whitehouse Wildcats in just a moment. 2-1 is high above the chest for ball 3. A 3-1 count already to begin this one. Gage Doris waiting in the on-deck circle for the Huntsville Hornets. Dudolski trying to find the zone here. 3-1. That's outside for ball 4. A leadoff walk for Josh Stanley. A great start, Christian.
Yeah, good job, being patient, getting everything upside for Dudolski. We'll see if Doris can find his pitch and take one if he likes it.
I have some conversations with other people outside the broadcast. The first inning could very well tell how this game is going to go. But having that leadoff walk is a great start. Pickoff attempt is not in time. The dugout is amped up. The Hornet dugout is. Doris, the left-handed hitter, steps in against the right-hander in Dudolski. Pitch, shows bunt, pulls back, throw down to first. Not in time, it's a ball. Christian, to throw a guy out there on 3 days rest, that just shows what head coach Greg Branch has in Dudolski. A lot of trust. 1-0, bunt. Got it down, but it rolls foul.
Trying to advance that runner, cause more pressure. Trying to at least score in this inning.
Yeah, let's see if they can get a runner in scoring position early on in this one. Another pickoff, not in time. Of course, in high school, there's no pickoff limits. See the third baseman in Blackman playing a few steps in on the turf grass. 1-1. Called strike in the zone. It's 1-2. It's the first called strike that Dudolski has had his way with so far in this one. Of course, we're still early in this one. Josh Stanley is on first. After leadoff walk, another pickoff attempt, not in time. This is a Hornet squad that does like to have a bit of fun on the base paths. Of course, they had some issues they had to work out with early on in the season with running. Pitch. That's outside to even to count at 2-2. So far, the Hornets just seeing what Dudulski can do. Another pickoff attempt. I wonder how long until Coach Branch decides to take out Dudulski. If he starts to get wild. Runner goes, swing, that's a foul ball. Stanley's going to have to go back to first. While we have the time, let's go ahead and give you the defensive alignments for the Whitehouse Wildcats. Dudulski, of course, on the mound. McCord behind the plate at catcher. Morton at first. Adams at second base. Blackman's at third. Reed's at shortstop. Davis is in left field. Garrison is in center field. And to round up the defensive alignments for the Wildcats, Cook is in right field. Two-two. Swing and a miss on that one. That's the first out of the inning. And you can hear that Wildcat crowd go crazy a little bit. Of course, Dudulski still has the runner on first to deal with, and Stanley with Noah Nieto coming to the plate.
Yeah, good at bat by Doris. Just unfortunate not able to get a bat on that ball, but more pitches for Dudulski and having to get pickoffs, tiring that arm.
Nieto steps in. Really has come alive in his sophomore year. Started last year on freshman on varsity. Pitch, swing and a miss, a big one. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Nieto known for going on that first pitch.
Has showcased more power in the second half of district play. Has a home run. And it was that bomb he hit a little over a week ago on last Tuesday against the Dayton Broncos. And Dudulski is still worrying about the run on first and Stanley, but Stanley being able to read his pickoff move a little bit more easily than Dudulski probably thinks. Stanley with another decent lead off of first. Dudulski goes. Swing and a miss. Count runs to 0-2. Of course, Dudulski fastball can get up to 92 miles an hour. 0-2. Fouled. And he's still pumping the cheese in there, but Nieto fighting. One out as time is called. Stanley led off the game with a walk. Doris struck out. 0-2, runner goes. That pitch is in there for a called strike three. Stanley, however, does go on to second. And it's going to be a drop third strike. Nieto is going to reach first base, or is he not? No, I think they're going to say that first base is already occupied even though the runner is already going. It only does happen when it's 2 outs that you can go ahead on the first even if the base is occupied. So it is what it is, but you have a runner in scoring position now for Nolan Hunt. Got some much needed rest, and he's ready to get going. Stanley on second. First pitch to Hunt. It's low and inside for a ball.
Yeah, Hunt hasn't got any action last week, but coming in here trying to be that clutch player.
The Western Texas Community College commit. Pitch. That's a soft fly ball in trouble area, but Morton's able to get to it in foul territory. Maybe it was fair anyway, but that will do it for the Hornets at the top of the first inning. But they were able to work Dudulski on the pitch count, but it's now going to be up to Fullwood to see if he can put a 0 on the board as well. We'll be right back right after this on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Hey folks, Clint Mack here with Wiesner Chevrolet in Huntsville. If you've been looking for a great deal, don't look any further than Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. Come get a Crew Cab $1,500 truck and take up to $10,000 off the MSRP. We have Chevy Trax as low as $20,995. Do you want to go all electric? We have the all-new Bolt EV, Bolt EUV, and the Chevy Blazer. Do you need a heavy-duty truck? We've got 3/4 tons and 1 tons in stock ready for you to take home now. Some restrictions may apply, so hurry to Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville and take advantage of these great deals and great inventory. Or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com.
Welcome back to the Hornet Nation broadcast network powered by KSAM Sports. Now on the mound for the Huntsville Hornets, beginning this one. Once again, Christian, a surprise to say the least, but maybe it could be a welcome one depending on how things go. It's going to be the right-hander, senior Lucas Fullwood.
Yeah, as you said, a surprise. You expect Van to come out, be your game one starter for these playoff series, but you go with different at hand and Fullwood, a little bit of an off-speed, different type of pitcher, probably trying to slow down the batters here for the Wildcats. But like we said, just try and get that first out, and that'll help you in this inning.
Yeah. And you are a big fan of that slow curveball that he has, that's for sure.
It's dirty, but it's best when unexpected.
Kind of like a Yu Darvish-esque, slow curve that he used to feature when he was with the Texas Rangers. But big bottom of the half inning. Of course, it's only the beginning, but the first inning could determine how the rest of the game goes. Leading off for the Whitehouse Wildcats going to be Garrett Hayes, the designated hitter. First pitch from Fullwood is in there for a strike. Hayes showed bunt, but he pulled back. Is that a strike or a ball?
A strike.
It's 1-0 on the scoreboard, but I definitely saw the umpires signal for a strike pitch. That's popped up high in the air. It's on the infield. Langley's moving in, calls off Stanley. He makes the catch. A piece 6 to begin Lucas Fullwood's outing. 1 away.
Now batting number 6, JoJo.
Right there, you get that first out, and that can hold the bunting. But like we said, Hornets practice this all week. See Brady in the grass on turf, ready for a bunt if necessary.
That's JoJo Adams up for the Wildcats. That first pitch is in there for a ball. Get your defensive alignments for the Huntsville Hornets in just a moment. Shows bunt, gets it down, it rolls on to Parker Jr. Jr. fields it, throw on to second. Did Stanley get the bag? No, he did not, according to the first base umpire. It was a good play by Josh Stanley to at least get the ball before it rolled to the outfield, but the Whitehouse Wildcats get their first hit and base runner of the game with a JoJo Adams bunt single.
Now batting number 16.
Good job by Stanley to cover it, but fortunate.
Now stands Keegan McCord, the catcher. First pitch from Fullwood to McCord is in there for a strike.
Yeah, Fullwood doing a good job getting that first strike in the count.
Keegan McCord. Showing a lazy bunt. I'm sure he's not going to. Runner goes, a ground ball to Brady at third. You look at second, but throw on the first easily for the 5-3 putout. It's 2 away.
Now batting number 27, Peyton Blackman.
Peyton Blackman, the third baseman, now steps in for Whitehouse. They do have a runner in scoring position with 2 away, the same position the Hornets were last inning. You can see Greg Branch signaling out the play here. See what Fullwood could do here. Looking back at second at JoJo Adams. He can run. First pitch. Ground ball over the middle, but Stanley is right at the right spot. Throw on the first in time. In a scoreless first inning for Lucas Fullwood. It's still knotted up at nothing as Whitehouse was able to get a hit, but strand the runner at second. We'll be right back for the second inning after this on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports.
At Mid-South Fiber Internet, we understand the importance of quality service.
We don't just work here, we live here too.
Helping our communities any way we can.
Connecting communities one line at a time.
Working around the clock for you.
We are committed to service.
Committed to our communities.
We are committed to you.
Mid-South Fiber Internet, local, reliable service you can count on. Sign up today at midsouthfiber.com.
Welcome back to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports. This season of Huntsville Hornet Baseball is brought to you in part by Wiesner of Huntsville, home of the bottom line, and by Mid-South Fiber Internet, local company, local people, local service. Christian, a 14-minute first inning. Dodolski, though, kind of ran his pitch count up there a little bit. Fullwood was on cruise control, it seemed like, despite that bunt single. That may or may not have been out.
Yeah, Fullwood having a good command, getting that first strike. You have that one play that happened, but you move on from it and you're able to get out of the inning. Really helpful, and like we said, Podolski having more pitches than Fullwood can help for the Hornets if he has to get out early.
Again, something to keep an eye on with Dodolski being on 3 days rest. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Hornets in Austin Taylor, Johnny Waddell, in Van Brady. Austin Taylor steps in, the starting left fielder tonight for the Huntsville Hornets. He's been putting up decent at-bats. First pitch from Dodolski to Taylor's in there for a strike to begin this inning. And that one, a breaker in there for a strike as well. It's 0-2 already on Austin Taylor. This is a part of the lineup, Christian, that needs to get going, the 5 through 9 hitters, to support the top 4. 0-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. It was not caught. Throw on the first in time by McCord to Morton's, one away.
Yeah, over the past week, we always talked about on air and off air that this part of the lineup needs to get going. And it did work last time against Dayton, but now you're facing a whole different type of pitcher. Fortunately, got that first out, started this inning.
Waddell steps in, first pitch is outside, and Dodolski just ramped it up. I'm pretty sure that was 90. Do not have a radar gun here. 1-0. Breaker in there for a strike. Dodolski's working very quickly. And time's going to be called. One is too high and also inside. Ground ball through the right side, to Morton. Steps on the bag easily for the 3-U putout. But that's what Johnny Waddell should be doing, Christian, is putting the ball on the ground. Just need to put it to the left side instead because he can make a routine play, not routine.
Yeah, you know, he uses his speed, does it so well. He can even beat out the throw. But just unfortunate, went straight to first base on that.
Van Brady steps in. First pitch to him is a fastball that doesn't catch the zone. Swing and a miss.
A little late on that one.
Yeah, I can't really tell what kind of pitches he's throwing. Of course, we're from the side view. 1-1. Fastball doesn't catch the zone. It goes behind McCord. It's 2-1. See if he can find a way to keep the bat in the zone for a little bit longer. 1-2-1 rather is swing and a miss is 2-2. 2 outs, still in the top of the second inning. First pitch was at 7:06 p.m. 2-2. Dodolski gets another strikeout, goes 1, 2, and 3 against the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Huntsville Hornets. Up next for the Wildcats, due up. Dodolski will lead off alongside Davis and Garrison after this on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network.
Affordable Plumbing Incorporated in Huntsville is a proud supporter of Hornets softball and baseball. Family owned and operated since 2000, Affordable Plumbing serves the plumbing needs of Huntsville, New Waverly, Trinity, and other surrounding areas. The company is backed by years and years of experience and strives to support the community in a courteous and professional manner for all your plumbing needs. Call them at 936-291-7886. Again, that's Affordable Plumbing at 936-291-7886. Sting 'em, Hornets!
Still all knotted up at nothing, heading to the bottom of the second inning. Lucas Fullwood's back out there on the bump for his second inning of work. Clean first inning. I think I'm curious, Christian, to see what both teams do the second time through. Of course, the Hornets have never seen Dodolski outside of film, and the Wildcats haven't seen Fullwood at all, rather. Don't know how much film they've got in their hands, but at this point in this season of Texas high school baseball in the playoffs, film is like gold at this point. First pitch from Fullwood to Dodolski. It's inside for a ball.
I mean, like we said, Wildcats probably expected Van Brady to be on the mound, but they had Fullwood, and it just took him for a turn.
1-0. Line drive over the head of Stanley for a base hit. Dodolski with the leadoff single, and this is where things could go a bit awry for the Hornet defense because they get that runner on base. They really love the butt. A courtesy runner coming in for the Wildcats. It's going to be DJ Hester.
And they get that pitch runner on to get some speed on the bag. Like we said, the bunt will be coming.
Let's see what Davis does coming up here. Ty Davis. Pitch, bunts it down. Fullwood gets it cleanly. Throw on the first is low, but Parker Jr. is able to get it in time. The runner does move on over to second for the Wildcats. One away. They'll send the 7-hole hitter, the center fielder Logan Garrison. Ground ball to the left side is quite something they would definitely welcome. He shows bunt, however. Fullwood looking back at second to Hester. Pitch, and it hits Hester in the head. So runners will be on first and second with 1 out. Runner does have to retreat back to second in Hester, as that's a dead ball. So Garrison reaches with the hit by pitch, and now will be up to the 8-hole hitter in Morton to try to do something, but may not be the end of the world because you do have the double play ball in play. But that's something that the Hornets struggled to turn in the final game of district against Dayton.
Yeah, we talked about that. But it's a whole different game. We'll see what happens. Of course, everyone anticipating the bunt.
Well, Morton is showing bunt, the first baseman. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if he pulls back. Fullwood looking back at second. Pitch, runner goes, it's fouled. Still just the 1 out, runners on first and second. Let's see if the bunt gets put down again. And Fullwood's going to fake the pickoff.
I believe so far Fullwood is yet to show that curveball.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe he just doesn't want to show that just yet. 0-1. That's foul. 0-2.
Yeah, sometimes you want to hold back on the pitches. You want to try and show them everything you have and then surprise them.
Well,
trying to use it for the right time.
Well, I use all my pitches in MLB The Show in the first inning, and I have no shame in it.
Oh, I do the same.
And then the analog stick sometimes slips, and I leave a fastball right down the middle. Another fake pickoff. Still an 0-2 count, 1 away. Runners on first and second. Runner could be going Hester. He doesn't. So Kerr, called strike 3. Ring him up. That's an Affordable Plumbing strikeout looking for Lucas Fullwood. 2 away. Now, we talked about the slow curve, and there it was.
Yep. Yeah, fastball, anticipating that again. And just put a curve on it right there. Buckled up the batter. Strike 3.
Well, you got a left-handed hitter in Ben Reed, the shortstop for the Wildcats, now up. Head coach Justin Jennings barking out fielding instructions to his defense. You can see Taylor move more to his right in right field against the left-handed hitter. Reed waiting on Fullwood. Fullwood still keeping an eye on Hester at second. That's going to go foul into the batting cages.
Fullwood doing a good job taking his time.
He threw only 7 pitches in that first inning. 0-1. There's that curve, but it was outside. Two outs. Dodolski led off this inning with a single. Hester running for him at second. Got over on a sac by Davis, and Garrison at first got hit by a pitch, and Morton struck out looking in the last at-bat. There's that curveball again, but it was just outside. Cannot load the bases up for the leadoff hitter in Hayes. You got to make a pitch right here if you're Lucas Fullwood, the senior who didn't play last year due to injury. Seems like everything has built up to this moment for him. 2-1, runner goes. It's high. The ball gets away from Nieto, and runners are all going to move. It's a 3-1 count now. And Noah Nieto is going to go out and have a conversation with his pitcher.
Second visit in this inning.
One thing, Christian, of note, 4 umpires in the field tonight.
Yeah, it's playoff baseball. You're not going to have 3. You're going to have 4 at each bag. It's helpful in many ways. One thing I noted as well is foul territory is quite shorter here than anywhere else we've been.
Big pitch coming, 3-1. Fly ball, it's in shallow. Langley going back, diving, sliding on the knees, caught by Austin Taylor. What a play to strand runners on second and third base. Another scoreless inning for Lucas Fullwood. It's been an intense game. We're just through 2, folks. Do not go away. We still got plenty of game coming up next.
I'm Kobe Lovell, 2020 World Champion hitter, 7-time NFR qualifier.
I'm Ricky Canton, 15-time NFR qualifier, and currently hold the world's record in the calf rovement.
I'm Cody Johnson. I'm a platinum recording country music artist, cowboy team roper.
And I'm No Bull Bill, and I sell trucks. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, at least I sell them to the cool people.
Back here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. Powered by KSAM Sports. Michael Dodolski back on the bump. Christian, we were talking about it a little bit before we came on air. Just kind of want to continue that. Man, I thought that ball was going to get down for sure. But Austin Taylor coming out of nowhere, possibly saving the game for the Huntsville Hornets. Even though it's only the second inning, it feels like if you let just one run across against the Wildcats, it seems like the win probability goes up exponentially for Whitehouse.
Yeah, it's a home game for them. They have a big crowd. But a good job by Justin Jennings. Like you said before, he was moving his defense to the batter, and that's a little blooper that usually gets down. But Taylor using his speed and his skill to get that out.
First pitch to Brian Parker Jr. is in there for a strike on the fastball. It's 0-1. Brian Parker Jr. making the start at first base tonight. Watches that fastball low and away. Two-stick count. Goes to 21, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Dulski not even moving away from that mound.
Going to be, I think if either one of Parker Jr. or Langley and get on base for the top of the order could be proven big. 2-2. Swing and a miss, not that time. One away, another strikeout for Michael Dodolski. That's already 5 so far in the game. 2 1/3 inning into this game for him. Now Holden Langley steps in. Usually only just plays shortstop, did not get many at-bats in districts. Watch that first pitch. May have just barely touched the zone for a strike. Cut and the miss. Swing looks good though. It's level, but see if you can probably keep those two hands together. 0-2, 1 out. Swing and a miss on the breaker. And Dodolski is just dealing right now.
He just pounds a fastball. On that last one, just get a little off-speed pitch and able to get a strikeout back-to-back at batters.
Well, here's the one hitter he hasn't retired, which is Josh Stanley, who led off this game with the base on balls. That pitch is low below the knees. It is interesting to see how pitchers pitch to certain batters. Like, as this 1-0 comes from Dodolski. Ground ball left side, fielded at third by the third baseman, but it's thrown away. Rather, it hit off the glove of Morton, and that's going to be an E5 on Peyton Blackman.
Now batting number 7, Gage Doris.
Good job by Stanley staying with it, running through. You're taught to keep running or else you're going to get benched. That's how it usually is.
Well, now it sends Gage Doris up with a runner on first and 2 outs. Stanley, I'm sure, will probably just stay put at first and not try to steal. First pitch to Doris. That one clips the zone for a strike. Dodolski starting to find the zone a bit more than he did at the beginning of this game. Ground ball softly to second. That's Adams. Throw on to first. Scooped up by Morton in time. Hornets able to get a base runner on a knee, but nothing doing after that. Lucas Fullwood going back onto the bump for the bottom of the third inning when we come back right after this on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Huntsville wakes up to the all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy. Get a positive start on your workday with local news, weather and sports, and some inspiration and laughs to warm you like a hot cup of coffee. And now you can join the daily conversation with Brian and Tracy by calling or texting the KSAM listener line at 936-295-4102. Come on, neighbor. The all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy on 101.7 KSAM.
Welcome back to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Folks, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Bill Fick Ford, No Bull, Just Good Deals, and by our friends at Affordable Plumbing Incorporated, family-owned and operated since 2000, supporting Walker and surrounding counties. 1, 2, 3 hitters due up for the Wildcats to begin the bottom of the third inning in Hayes, Adams, and McCord, starting with Garrett Hayes. He popped out to short his last time up to lead off for Wildcat hitting. He's back up to the plate. First pitch, ground ball foul. It's pretty big, Christian, that Fullwood is having good feel for his fastball to complement that curveball that, like you said, doesn't want to show it too often early on. There is that curve, but it was outside.
Yeah, that fastball's been working so far, especially getting early in the count.
Fly ball to left center field, back on it is Waddell, and that ball one hops the wall. It's at the foot of the wall. He's thought about three for a moment, but it's a leadoff double for Garrett Hayes. And the Wildcat base is going crazy. First extra base hit of the game for both sides.
Now batting number 6, JoJo Adams.
JoJo Adams now steps in. He hit a bunt single his last time up. Hornets going to need some magic here to strand that runner. First pitch to Adams, shows bunt, gets it down through the right side. Brian Parker Jr. picks it up, throw on the first low to Stanley in time at first, but it does move the runner in Hayes on over to third with one out.
And that's all you can do. Good job by Stanley, able to cover second. Now the infield in, trying to prevent that runner from coming in.
I mean, the one thing you kind of have working right now, Christian, one thing you have going is that you have right-handed hitters due up in McCord, along with Blackman, who's in the on-deck circle. First pitch, it's going to be a bloop single down, and the first run comes in for the Wildcats. It's 1-0. RBI single by McCord gives the Wildcats their first run of the game. Let's see if Fullwood can however, keep it to where it is. With Peyton Blackman coming in, I'm sure he wants to find a way to make up for that E5 that he was responsible for in the top half of this third inning. Grounded out to second his last time up. Waddell shifts to his right into left center field. Keep an eye on the runner at first. It's going to be it's a courtesy runner, by the way. It's Lane Hooker for the catcher in McCord. First pitch. So curve in there for a strike. If you can keep things where they are right now, Christian, with your 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up, I think you'll be in a good spot if you're the Hornets.
Yeah, let's try and get that next out. Even, if possible, cause the double play.
0-1. That one's just a bit high and in. 1-1. One, runner goes, swing, liner, that's gonna get down for a base hit. He's thinking 3, Doris throws it, and it almost got Hooker flat-footed rounding second. It was a good throw by Doris, but runners on first and second with just 1 out for Peyton Blackman coming up. And assistant coach Cole Bohannon is going to go out there and talk to his pitcher and the infielders, since this is going to be a very key spot here. Runners on first and second, 1 out.
And that crowd's in it, trying to cause more pressure for Fullwood. Curveball has been working. Batters haven't swung much on it, but once they get the fastball, they've been able to do damage on opposite field, especially. Right now is the top hitter for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Peyton's going to be Michael Dodolski coming up. He hit a hard single over the head of Josh Stanley in the second inning. Dodolski can't swing the bat almost as good as he can pitch the baseball. First pitch, pulls back, that gets away from Fullwood, but Nieto able to scoop it up and keep it from going to the backstop. It is 1-0. Do have some activity in that Hornet bullpen. I believe that's on the other left-hander for the staff, Christian Wimberly. That's warming up down the right field line in that away bullpen. Seems that the Hornets are not interested in wanting to play their best cards just yet. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Wind picking up, gusting here in Whitehouse, Texas. It was originally supposed to rain around here maybe for a little bit, but it seems that the clouds are not going to come over here to Whitehouse. Line drive, that's going to get down for another base hit. Doris fields it cleanly, but the runner holds up at third. It will be bases loaded coming up for Gabe Davis. And the Whitehouse Wildcats are threatening to break this game wide open.
Yeah, they've just been able to get a bat on the ball and do well with it. Bases loaded. Not anticipating a
DJ Hester goes on over to first, by the way, to pinch run for Dodolski. Nieto's going to go out and talk to Fullwood. I wonder how long head coach Justin Jennings is going to keep Fullwood, the senior, out there. Like I said, Christian Wimberly is warming up in that bullpen for the Hornets.
Yeah, Nieto just calling that, trying to waste time to get Wimberly in, but it looks like he'll continue on. In this position, you can go any bag. You can go to Nieto, get that force out at home. If you could turn a double play, I can get you out of this inning.
And Cole Bohannon is going to go out there, and he's probably going to make the move. I do see Wimberly walking down into that bullpen exit. Let's see, is he going to take the ball away from him? He is, and Fullwood's outing is done. He leaves the bases loaded. Big spot coming up for the Hornets. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher after this.
Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, KSAM1017.com.
Welcome back to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Now on the mound for the Huntsville Hornets is going to be the lefty, the sophomore, number 18, Christian Wimberly.
Yeah, bringing out a lefty, trying to get out of this inning. That's Wimberly's job right now. But for Fullwood, he had a good first 2 innings. You know, able to get out of the first inning, prevent any more bunts happening. Did his job. Just unfortunately, while the Wildcat batters just was able to see him the second time and did a good job in making their approach and getting on.
To really set the scene, what has happened in this inning, Garrett Hayes led off this bottom of the third inning, rather, I should say, with a double. Sack bunt by Adams, moving over the second, and then McCord hit a single that moved him up to third. And then Blackman got a single, Jadolski got a single, an RBI single to bring home the game's first runner.
Now pitching for Huntsville, number 18, Christian Wimberly.
I believe that's what happened. My scorebook doesn't really say what happened beforehand because I got it all kind of complete a little bit, but you know, it's whatever. I'm more of a pen and paper kind of guy, not really the electronic scorebook kind of.
I agree.
You know, it's much better on pen and paper in my opinion. Well, Christian Wimberly is going to be asked for a big task here. Bases loaded in a 1-run game, 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Gabe Davis is showing bunt. Ty Davis, rather. Pulls back. He goes to the backstop. Nieto's got it. Go out home, but the runner is safe. It's a 2-0 game, and all the other runners move 90 feet. Wild pitch.
Unfortunate start, but you still got this batter to deal with.
Yeah, you still got this. You still got 2 more outs in the inning to deal with. (1-0) showing bunt, pulls back, it's in there for a strike. You can hear this Whitehouse crowd getting into it. That is gonna go foul. Pitcher's count coming up, Christian. What should Christian do? Do you try to strike him out, or do you just try to just get a ground ball, you trade a run for an out at this point?
I mean, you can have a throwaway pitch, but you don't want to get it by the catcher in Nieto.
1-2, 1 out. That's going to go foul as well. It looks like Davis is trying to poke it to the right side.
And he tries to be like me in slow pitch, try to get the oppo, but it doesn't work out sometimes. But if Wimberly gives him that outside pitch, he's going to try and take it that way.
One, two, one out. Runners on second and third. Deep breath by Wimberly. Pitch. That's popped up in foul territory. Parker Jr. going to it. He makes the catch outside the Hornet dugout. That's out number 2. A big out number 2.
Now batting number 2, Logan Garrison.
You know if somebody flies out in foul territory or pops up like that, you put it as an FF3, especially the first baseman. Interesting, huh? Foul out.
But still good because it was able to be in the infield and runners weren't able to advance with the pop fly if it would be.
Morrison is in the box for the Wildcats, watches that fastball go outside. Garrison, I should say, not Morrison. The center fielder grounds this one to short. Langley has it. Throw on the first in time. And what a masterful job by Christian Wimberly. Yes, he lets one inherited runner cross the plate, but he leaves the 2 others stranded. It is a 2-0 game. Whitehouse Wildcats in the lead over the Huntsville Hornets.
I'm Kobe Lovell, 2020 World Champion hitter, 7-time NFR qualifier.
I'm Ricky Canton, 15-time NFR qualifier, and currently hold the world's record in the calf movement.
I'm Cody Johnson. I'm a platinum recording country music artist, cowboy team roper.
And I'm No Bull Bill, and I sell trucks. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, at least I sell them to the cool people.
Back here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Noah Nieto, Nolan Hunt, and Austin Taylor are due up in this inning. Christian, Wildcats scored 2 runs, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been. Wimberly coming in, fortunately getting that wild pitch, but you keep the batters there. You get that second out in foul territory in the infield, preventing anyone from tagging up to advance, and then able to get that ground out by Langley, getting out to first, preventing any more damage. But now you have said your 3, 4, and 5 hitters to try and start off momentum for the Hornets.
Well, I mean, 41 pitches for Dodolski.
Off the top of the 4th, number 3.
Need him to, like, at least throw maybe 50 more, to say the least.
Yeah, like we talked about it in the pregame, he's on short rest. He last pitched on Saturday.
First pitch in there for a strike to Noah Nieto, the catcher. He struck out looking his last time up in the first inning. Fouled off the end of the bat. Looked like he was trying to jump that fastball, try to cheat it a little bit, but way too early. It's 0-2. It's in the turf. It's blocked by McCord. Popped up high in the air. It's going to go foul right behind us and not hit a car. We're parked far enough, though. I don't think we have to worry.
We're A-okay.
We have a really good parking spot, if I could say so myself. 1-2. Did he go? No, he did not.
It's usually where Dodolski has gotten the Hornets batters is getting a pitch down in the dirt and swinging. So far, Nieto being patient, doing a good job getting back into the count.
I wonder if Dodolski rams a fastball right here. 2-2. Does, but it's popped up. Looks like it's staying in play, but it will go into the crowd. Count still remains 2-2.
This is what you need for the Hornets. You need to work these at-bats, try and get your pitch. At the same time, get Dodolski to pitch more than expected. Try and get him out and get to the bullpen.
Swing and a miss. A good at-bat for Noah Nieto, but he goes down swinging. Second strikeout against Nieto. Dodolski has
Now batting number 9, Nolan Hunt.
Nolan Hunt now steps in. He popped out the first his last time up. On a ball that was almost in no man's land with Stanley at second. Sliders in there for a strike. Seven strikeouts, by the way, for Dodolski. 1-1. Fly ball, right field. This is going to stay in play. Cook is there. He makes the catch for out number 2. Hunt just late. He kept his bat in the zone, though. Gave it a decent ride, but with how the wind is playing right now, that's not where you want to put the ball.
No, I believe right field's been getting more work than any other. Right now, the Hornets just need to try and get something on the ground.
First pitch in there for a strike to Austin Taylor. It's 0-1. Taylor struck out swinging his last time up. Hard ground ball right to second. That's Adams' throw on the first in time. And another 1-2-3 inning for Michael Dodolski. Still a 2-0 Whitehouse lead heading to the bottom of the 4th inning as we're halfway home in this one.
Hey folks, Clint Mack here with Wiesner Chevrolet in Huntsville. If you've been looking for a great deal, don't look any further than Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. Come get a crew cab $1,500 truck and take up to $10,000 off the MSRP. We have Chevy Trax as low as $20,995. Do you want to go all electric? We have the all-new Bolt EV, Bolt EUV, and the Chevy Blazer. Do you need a heavy-duty truck? We've got 3/4 tons and 1 tons in stock ready for you to take home now. Some restrictions may apply, so hurry to Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville and take advantage of these great deals and great inventory, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com.
Bottom of the 4th inning about to get underway. Christian Wimberly is back out there on the bump. He came in with the bases loaded. He allowed 1 run to score on the wild pitch, but he was able to strand the other 2 to just keep it at a 2-0 game. Right now, if you're the Hornets, you're okay with that, especially when you're in such a hostile environment as Whitehouse.
Yeah, he did a good job coming in, getting those 2 outs, especially like we said with the bases loaded. But now you come in, you're going to try and get 3 more outs. See how he does. For Whitehouse is a new pitcher. Of course, they've never seen any of them. The most they probably seen film of was Brady, but he will not be pitching tonight. So let's try and get 3 up, 3 down here for the Hornets. Try and bat again.
Well, leading off for the Wildcats is going to be, make sure I'm right on this one, it's going to be Morton coming in. The first baseman. First pitch from Wimberly is a fastball at the knees for a strike.
As I said, it's a big difference when it's an 0-1 count compared to a 1-0 count.
Morton got caught looking his last time up in the 2nd inning. 0-1 from Wimberly. Beautiful pitch, but it's just outside for a ball. Grounded to short. Langley on the first, 1 away. Also a nine-hole hitter in Ben Reed. First pitch from Wimberly is a fastball low and outside for a ball. Sun's almost completely gone in Whitehouse. One-0 count. Joe's bunt puts it down. Wimberly fields it. Throw on the first. It is in time. A good throw by Wimberly and stretched by Brian Parker Jr. to get the second out. The crowd's not liking it, but it is the second out of the inning.
Doing a good job getting that first and second out. Wimberly doing a good job staying with it, taking his time, getting the throw down. Like I said, a good stretch by Brian Parker Jr.
Well, Garrett Hayes is the batter coming up, and he got the party started for Whitehouse with a leadoff double back in the third inning. First pitch, lefty on lefty. That is going to go over the head of Langley into left center field. Taylor has it, though, quickly. He'll throw it on into the infield. That's a two-out single for Garrett Hayes. He's 2 for 3 on the night.
Now batting number 6, JoJo Otto.
Now, this is interesting here, Christian, especially when it comes to both sides of the ball. JoJo Adams has put the ball in play both times his last 2 at-bats on bunts. A bunt single and a sac bunt his last time up. Strike.
If you were to lay a button here, you would just try and get that one out. So if he were to lay one here, he would just try and use the speed to get on that bag.
Yeah, but if you're Whitehouse, do you risk the out? Because
I wouldn't.
Pick off, it's not in time. Of course, Wimberly has to be kind of careful on that pickoff move. He is kind of playing a fine line with that 45-degree angle, which is what lefties have to go off of. Another pickoff, not in time. Oh, 1-2 away. Pitch. At the high part of the zone for 0-2. That one's at the head for ball 1. Wimberly steps off for a moment. Nieto's going to go have a conversation with the sophomore lefty. Great story, by the way, for Wimberly, Christian. I mean, he was not in the baseball period to begin last year as a freshman until around where baseball season was about to start, if I remember correctly. Coaching staff found out that he's a lefty that can throw a baseball pretty well for a freshman that can throw in the 60s. And then, of course, he throws a little harder now that he's gotten a bit stronger and has grown now as a sophomore. And then now he's here pitching over a year later in game 1 of the bi-district round against the number 8 team in Texas. Runner goes, pitch is swung on a miss. Foul tip caught by Noah Nieto. And now we'll do it for the Whitehouse Wildcats. Christian Wimberly doing a great job so far. It's still, however, a 2-0 lead for the Whitehouse Wildcats after 4.
Affordable Plumbing Incorporated in Huntsville is a proud supporter of Hornet softball and baseball. Family owned and operated since 2000, Affordable Plumbing serves the plumbing needs of Huntsville, New Waverly, Trinity, and other surrounding areas. The company is backed by years and years of experience and strives to support the community in a courteous and professional manner for all your plumbing needs. Call them at 936-291-7886. Again, that's Affordable Plumbing at 936-291-7886. Sting 'em, Hornets!
Big strikeout brought to you by Affordable Plumbing from Christian Wimberly to end the bottom of the fourth inning to still keep it 2-0. Christian, this is a huge test for the Hornets. So far, it seems like the pitching is doing its job. Whitehouse have a really good, pesky small ball offense that can also hit the ball hard for base hits whenever they're called upon to do that. But the pitching is doing a good job so far. So far, it's the offense that is trying to answer some questions. Can they get going with the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up in Waddell, Brady, and Parker Jr.? Or if you're head coach Justin Jennings, do you try some pitch hitting options if things start to, if options start to run out?
That's how you go with it. You start with Waddell. Waddell, just try and get something on the ground, beat that out. Beat the throw and get it going. Van try and hit something hard through the middle, through the outfield. Just try and get a bat on the ball.
Deep breath by Dodolski. First pitch to Johnny Waddell is a breaker that's low below the knees, 1-0. Dodolski just threw his 54th pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Two-stick pitch. That's low. Ground ball left side. Shortstop Reed is there. Double clutches it and gets Waddell by half a step. One away. Ooh, that looked a bit bad for a moment if you're Whitehouse to see Reed kind of double clutch like that. Especially a speedy runner in Johnny Waddell. That pitch is high to Van Brady for 1-0.
And for Waddell, you do your job. What he does, put it on the ground. Just fortunately, it's a better throw.
See a few pitches as well.
Yep.
At the knees for a strike on the fastball. That fastball again, but it was much lower than the last one. Foul tip.
Shorten it up.
Dodolski goes 2-2. Swing and a miss. Wales on that slider. 2 away. That sends the 8-hole hitter and Brian Parker Jr. up to the plate. Struck out swinging his last time up.
Now batting number 28, Brian Parker Jr.
Last time Dodolski pounded in 2 and then got him on the breaking ball in the dirt.
Launches that first pitch. Touch the zone for a strike. That one goes way outside. Fastball, try to throw to that outside corner, but it was too outside for the call. Dodolski trying to work quickly. Ask for McCord for the signs again. 2-1, 2 out. Chopper, right side, second baseman gets to it. It's going to be a tough play, and Morton scoops it up to get Brian Parker Jr. on the 4-3 putout. Good play by JoJo Adams to stick with it and throw on the first accurately. We're through 4.5 here in Whitehouse. Whitehouse in control at the moment against the Huntsville Hornets.
At Mid-South Fiber Internet, we understand the importance of quality service.
We don't just work here, we live here too.
Helping our communities any way we can.
Connecting communities one line at a time.
Working around the clock for you.
We are committed to service.
Committed to our communities.
We are committed to you.
Mid-South Fiber Internet, local, reliable service you can count on. Sign up today at midsouthfiber.com.
Back here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Christian Wimberly is back out there on the bump. Nothing else really changing, and you can keep things right here, and you got your 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up. Wonder if you start to think about whether or not you go ahead and probably get some other hitters out there who may not have faced Dudulski, but they've been watching him. They've been seeing what he does, how he carries himself. The Dayton commit, though, 8 strikeouts against the Hornets. Wimberly just has to find a way to keep up.
I'd say defensively, Hornets have been, doing a good job. Just that one inning, but even the last inning, getting up three outs quickly. But so far it's just been offensively, just couldn't get a hit. I mean, Dudulski just a great pitcher, able to locate his pitches.
3, 4, 5 hitters due up. Keegan McCord, Peyton Blackman, and Michael Dudulski for Whitehouse. First pitch to McCord is outside. Van Brady not really playing too close to the third base bat, but kind of is. Ground ball right to Brady. He scoops it up on the hop. Throw on the first in time for out number 1. As soon as I say something.
Now batting number 27, Peyton Blackman.
It's a good sign for Brady, though. He's not letting his at-bats stay with him in his mind when he goes out to the field, because that's something a lot of players have trouble with.
He does a good job of moving to his left, throwing it out.
Wimberly's first pitch to Blackman. Chopper, Wimberly has to get to it, does. Steady throw in time. Good stretch by Parker Jr. No, he is safe. Blackman is, and Blackman is in pain. He's on the ground, and he's not getting up. Parker Jr. couldn't get his foot back onto the bag. I thought he had it at first, but it's going to be a single, and Blackman's still on the ground. We'll step aside and take a break. We'll come back right after this. Back here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports, you can see Blackman walking with some help. And for Whitehouse, that's a big loss. Their stalwart at third base. We watched the replay, Christian. He did step on the bag. Don't really know. Don't know what happened after that when he stepped on the bag. In those situations, sometimes you hope it's a cramp because those can happen. Those can happen sometimes. But either way, we hope that Blackman is okay. Running for him at first, by the way. Now it's going to be number 9, Tyler Keene. We'll see in the next half inning what happens at third base for Whitehouse, but first Wimberley has to try to strand a runner at first to keep it a 2-0 game. 1 out. Wimberley sets. He readies himself against Michael Dodolski, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. First pitch to him. Lefty on lefty begins with the ball outside. One 0, 1 out. That's high and away. .20 count now, left in this lefty on lefty matchup. Runner stays put. Pitch is low. 3-0. Davis waiting in the on-deck circle for Whitehouse. Swing and a miss. Seemed that Dodolski had the green light on that one.
You want to swing for the fences on that one. But now for Wimberley, you have a strike. Try and keep working with it.
Of course, if you're trying to swing for the fences, they do say home runs are accidents. It's just the end product of putting a good swing and barrel on the ball. That's high for ball 4. Runners will be on first and second with 1 away. And Cole Bohan is going to go out there and talk to Christian Wimberley. I don't see any activity down the right field line, at the right field wall, rather, in that visitor's bullpen.
Yeah, runners on first and second with 1 out. Just trying to think, because potentially could be a bunt. Try and just possibly just get that lead runner, just give it with 1 out.
You got Davis coming up, a sac bunt in his first appearance in a foul out to first base in that big inning where Whitehouse scored 2 runs. So far in that bottom of the order, 6 through 9, neither one of them has reached base safely except for Garrison back in the second inning with a hit by pitch. So the Hornets have been able to get to the 6 to 9 hitters, but it's been that 1 through 5, the top half of the order, that's been trouble. Well, now Wimberley trying to strand 2 runners now with 1 out. Ground ball could be pretty nice here. DJ Hester at first, by the way, for Dodolski. Shows bunt, he misses it, and it's 0-1. I think I just saw a lightning flash.
Don't say that.
Huh?
Don't say that. Couldn't afford a delay right now.
Nah. Thank the good Lord for canopies, just in case. 0-1. Chopper, Brady has it, throw on the first in time for the second out. All the other runners move on 90 feet, second and third. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away for Garrison coming up.
Now batting number 2, Logan Garrison.
Yeah, with 2 outs, shouldn't be anticipating a bunt. Just try and get that force out at first possible, or even a fly out. Just try and get that last out to get out of this inning.
Garrison 0 for 1. He reached on a hit by pitch in the second inning and grounded out to short his last time up in the third. First pitch is at the knees. The breaker in there for a strike. Oh-1 coming from Wimberly. Ground ball, Brady's there again, and he makes all 3 outs in this inning as Wimberly strands 2 runners in scoring position. We're through 5. It's still a 2-0 game. The Hornets are still in this one. 6th inning beginning after this.
At Mid-South Fiber Internet, we understand the importance of quality service.
We don't just work here, we live here too.
Helping our communities any way we can.
Connecting communities one line at a time.
Working around the clock for you.
We are committed to service.
Committed to our communities.
We are committed to you.
Mid-South Fiber Internet, local, reliable service you can count on. Sign up today at midsouthfiber.com.
Welcome back to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Folks, just want to let you know that you can follow KSAM on social media at KSAM1017 on Facebook and X/Twitter. I don't know, I still call it Twitter sometimes, I'm not going to lie. I have a hard time still calling it X, if you want me to be honest with you. But either way, no matter what you call your social media apps, you can follow us at KSAM1017 to keep up with all things Huntsville and Walker County. Dodolski's still out there. He has 66 pitches. You got the 9-1 and 2 hitters coming up. And I kind of called it, Christian. Look who's coming up. Carson Woods is in the on-deck circle. He's going to be pinch hitting for Holden Langley.
Yeah, just try different batters. Try and, just get that lineup moving, especially going back to the top.
This has got to be the inning the Hornets do something, because you have your 9-1 and 2 hitters, like I said, coming up. So you got to find a way to get runners on base. Just get on base, do what you can do.
Leading off the top of the 6th, number 8, Carson Woods.
Well, Carson Woods will lead things off here in the 6th inning. First pitch is a fastball in there for a strike. Oh, 0-1. Fastball's outside. One. Holds off on it. Was outside the zone. 2-1. Hitters count. And Dodolski evens up the count at 2-2. Oh, 2-2 rather. That one's just below the zone. A good eye for Carson Woods. Runs the count full at 3-2. Josh Stanley, the one-hole hitter for the Hornets, is waiting in the on-deck circle. Called strike 3. Was didn't like the call, but Either way, it's out number 1.
Yeah, Woods able to work the counts full. Just got caught looking.
Now batting number 6, Josh Stanley.
Got to do something here. Stanley steps in, watches that slider touch the knees for a strike. Ground ball foul to the Whitehouse dugout. Oh, 2. Sharp blazer to short, but throws on the first easily for out number 2. Some of the defensive changes for the Wildcats. Chris Woodley is at first. Blackman's back out there at third.
Batting number 7, Gage Doris.
Swing and a miss by Gage Doris to begin the at-bat. 0-1. Called strike 3, touches the black. 0-2. Pitch. Outside. One, 2. Outside again. Doris still showing some good plate discipline despite getting down to 0-2. 2-2, 2 outs. Pitch. It's a slow ground ball. McCord has it, feels it with the bare hand, and on the first for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Michael Didolski. Hornets down to their final 3 outs. They're looking to still keep it a 2-0 game. We'll be right back right after this on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station. Playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, KSAM1017.com.
Bottom of the 6th inning coming your way here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Folks, did you know that you could download the new KSAM mobile app on all Apple and Android devices? You can be here at the game all the way here in Whitehouse. You can be back home in Huntsville. You can be in your car going to work, going back home, doing some errands, whatever you may be doing, it does not matter. You can listen to today's best country and all your favorites on the 101.7 KSAM mobile app, once again available on all Apple and Android devices. Due up for the Wildcats is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. J.J. Drogo is now in for the Wildcats. He's pinch hitting for the first baseman. I believe he's at first base now, actually. I thought that was number 15, Chris Woodley, that was at first, but it's going to be J.J. Drogo. Popped up foul over our heads.
Looks like Wimberly's going to go throughout the whole game, finish the game here.
You have to with him. The fact of the matter is these Hornets are still just have allowed 2 runs. 0-1. Ground ball right side, that's fair, down the right field line. Doris is hustling to it. Idro goes hustling to second, and he's going to stay there as the throw comes in. It's a leadoff extra base hit for the Whitehouse Wildcats. They're looking to add some insurance.
Now batting number 10.
Yeah, just right there staying on the line, staying fair on the first base line, able to get a double.
Ben Reed now steps in, the shortstop. He's 0 for 2, a fly out to left field. A really good play made by Austin Taylor in that put out, and then it grounded out to the pitcher in the 4th inning, straight to Wimberly. First pitch, shows bunt, pulls back, it goes inside anyway. It's 1-0.
Yeah, the inning where the Wildcats scored 2, they started off with a leadoff double. We want to try and prevent anything possible for the Hornets.
Wimberly, the sophomore lefty, looking back at second. Showing bunt is Reed. Pitch. Pulls back, it's outside once again. Yeah, I do see a pitcher warming up in that Whitehouse bullpen. Pitch 2-0, puts the bunt down, rolling to Brady, scoops it up, and the bases, everyone on the bases rather, will be safe as the runner from second moves on over to third. Runners at the corners now, nobody out. With the bunt single by Reed, and Whitehouse are delighted to have this. Leadoff hitter Garrett Hayes coming up, who's 2 for 3 tonight. And they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Garrett Hayes to load the bases.
This one's position, you can get that force out at home.
And you can see the infield now playing in for the Hornets. JoJo Adams, the second baseman. Of course, I would not be surprised here, Christian, either way, if they try some sort of a safety squeeze. Well, he's showing bunt. Stanley creeping in, pulls back the bat. That's low in the turf, but a good block by Noah Nieto. It's 1-0. High stakes situation here for both sides. 1-0. Pitch. Liner into center field, down for a base hit. 1 run scores, another run coming in. Waddell's throw comes into Brian Parker Jr. on the mound, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Whitehouse Wildcats.
And for Whitehouse, a good job able to get some insurance to help you in the next inning.
Number 16,
Well, Keegan McCord steps in, still nobody out. I think it's going to be looking like that. Head coach Justin Jennings going to keep Wimberly out there for the time being. Bunt is fouled off because I don't think you want to throw out your best guys in a game like this now that it has become. I think that was the strategy coming into this game. Going up against their number 1 guy in Dodolski, I don't think you want to throw out Van, especially if Dodolski has a good opportunity to shut down Hornet hitting, which he has done so far tonight. Runner goes, throw to third, and it gets away from Brady. It goes into foul territory, and another run is going to score. The runner in Adams goes on over to third. It's a 5-0 game. Man, oh man, the wheels have come off in this inning.
That was a good base running. You had a lefty on the mound, has his back away from you.
Yeah, you just
reads it well and takes the base.
Yeah, and as the Hornet infielders, you gotta talk. You gotta tell them. You gotta say, hey, the runner's going, and Wimberly just didn't realize that soon enough. Caused the wild throw. Pitch in there for a strike. I do wonder if Dodolski is going to go back out there at 80 pitches. Oh-2 coming up. Pitch. Fly ball to right center field, and Doris is going back, and he can't make the catch. It rolls all the way to the wall. Waddell gets to it at the foot of the wall. It's at least going to be 3, and he's going to hold up there the hitter in there for Whitehouse McCord. It's a 6-0 game on the RBI triple, and things are going off the rails now. Time's going to get called. Cole Bahan's going to go out there, and I'll do it for Christian Wimberly. We'll be right back after this. New pitcher coming in is Brian Parker Jr. here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Affordable Plumbing Incorporated in Huntsville is a proud supporter of Hornet softball and baseball. Family owned and operated since 2000, Affordable Plumbing serves the plumbing needs of Huntsville, New Waverly, Trinity, and other surrounding areas. The company is backed by years and years of experience and strives to support the community in a courteous and professional manner for all your plumbing needs. Call them at 936-291-7886. Again, that's Affordable Plumbing at 936-291-7886. Sting 'em, Hornets!
Back here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports, now on the mound to try to stop the bleeding and keep it just a 6-0 game to at least give some chance at least. It's not impossible, but it's becoming more improbable as the game goes on. Brian Parker Jr. is now stepping on the bump, the righty. Usually plays first base, but he has gotten some time on the mound, just a couple of times. Does work on his pitching in practice for the Hornets, and I'm sure he's just in there just trying to get 3 outs, see what the offense can do in the top of the 7th inning. And if you can't do anything, either way, Christian, you still have your best pitching available. They just threw their number 1 guy on 3 days rest. He's at 80 pitches, so if he can get that second game in Huntsville, you set yourselves up for an interesting Game 3. But, of course, you got to focus on the now, get through it, go back home to Huntsville. Just try to throw this game out of your mind because it looks like Whitehouse is primed for the victory tonight. But, of course, I can't say that because there's still a chance. Of course, we've seen a lot of crazy things in high school baseball, Christian, especially this year for the Huntsville Hornets. What they've done and what they've allowed.
Yeah, anything can happen. And like we said, you couldn't say it better yourself in the pitching ways. You know, you have your number 1 for Game 2, but right now you got to focus on right now. Just try and get 3 outs, get out of this inning, possibly try and do something in the last inning.
Peyton Blackman now steps in. He got a single. He's 2 for 3, I should say. Overall, he's hit a single in his last 2 plate appearances. First pitch from Parker Jr. is fouled to the net for 0-1. 0-1 pitch coming up from Parker Jr. Hits lefty, throws righty. 0-1. Hard ground ball, and it gets past Stanley. 7th run of the game, crosses the plate for Peyton Blackman, who's still limping from that injury. And, you know, I got to hand it to him. It's tough going up there with an injury and putting the team on your back and going out there and getting a RBI single. And he'll come out. Pinch running for him is going to be number 4, Kyle 80, I guess. That's how you pronounce it. Apologies to anyone related to him.
At first base, number 4, Kyle
Adi. That was close.
Now batting, number 23, Michael Dudowski.
Well, Dudowski now steps in for the Wildcats. I believe that's number 5 warming up in that bullpen down there in Wynn Harris. So I wonder if he comes in, of course. See what happens here. First pitch is a curveball. It's outside. Hornets still looking for that first out. Pickoff, not in time. Doris, by the way, moves into at first base. Believe that's Cody Hager now out in right field. Also, Taylor still in left field, it looks like. Swing and a miss.
See Barker Jr. try and get something on the ground.
Get a quick double play. That doesn't hurt. Runner goes. Fly ball in the left center field. Taylor's going back. Still going back, and he drops it. It rolls to the wall. Throw comes in. Runner holds up at third. That will go down as an E7, and that is the last thing that you need.
Yeah, so far the wind has picked up here. But if that ball's near the glove, it should be caught.
Pinch runner for the pitcher. Brandon Wilson goes on over to second. At third now is Addy. 80.
The last thing you want here is to get run ruled. Not sure if they allow that in playoffs.
That is a good question. I'm kind of blanking on that, and I don't know why. I thought I knew the answer to that. Either way, can't think about that too much. Get that first out. First pitch. Liner into center field. It gets down for a base hit. Waddell has it. Run scores. Another run is coming in. 9-0. And that answers your question. No run rule, so
it's 10 after 5.
10 after 5, that's
so
right.
If it does get to one more, we'll see what happens.
You know, I always keep on confusing the run rules with college and high school,
Yeah.
and it's so weird. And you know, of course they call it a run rule. I personally still call it a mercy.
Now batting for the Wildcats, number 3, txhsbaseball.
Well, my scorecard is now completely befuddled. It's discombobulated. Swing and a miss on the high cheese. Been waiting to use that word, discombobulated. Oh, 1 pitch from Parker Jr. just a bit outside. Next pitch in there for a strike. 1-2.
Try and get this first out in this inning.
That's all you really want to focus on. 1-2 is high, not even close. 2-2. Remember, folks, even if Huntsville loses here on the night, they have a chance to send it to a Game 3, which is originally still scheduled for Saturday in Lufkin. Of course, we don't know what the weather is going to do. It's still developing, so keep an eye out on all your socials. 2-2, swing and a miss. Affordable Plumbing strikeout for Brian Parker Jr. to get the first out. I'll send J.J. Drogo up to the plate, having a conversation with head coach Greg Branch.
Number 14, J.J.
Drago steps in, the right-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, and Brian Parker Jr. Runner at first is Ty Davis. Benzanese shows bunt, gets it down, but it rolls foul. Still 0-1, 1 out. Parker Jr., runner goes, ground ball, foul. You know, I will say, Christian, you know, I don't know what the walls are made of. It looks like metal. It's metal, of course, but I don't know if I mean, it's very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah,
same thing as Nacogdoches.
Yeah, in our times around here, I've seen most fields have sheet metal as their outfield, which if ran into, it'll do a lot of damage.
In the dirt, Nieto trying to get to it. Throw down to second is not in time, but it's stopped by Josh Stanley. So it's going to be 1-2.
Here's the one thing about baseball compared to most sports, that the field can be adjusted in any way they desire in some ways.
Twelve count pitch. Popped up over our heads and foul.
Do you have a 1-2 count, 2 strikes, try and just get the possible next one, or get a force out, try and get that second one down?
One-two pitch once again. Called strike 3. Ring him up. Another Affordable Plumbing strikeout for Brian Parker Jr. That's 2 in his relief appearance.
Now batting number 10, Ben Reed.
9-hole hitter Reed steps in for the second time this inning. Same thing with the Drago. Hit a single early on in this inning. Brian Parker Jr. pitches. It's inside. Reed had to move out of the way. It's 1-0. I'd say we're 0-1.
As I turn behind me, there's lightning in the distance. It seems far away from us.
Runner goes, fly ball into center field. Waddell moving in on it, seems to have a beat on it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Brian Parker Jr. able to stop the bleeding, but a 7-run inning from the Whitehouse Wildcats. Hornets looking to at least get a hit, get some runs across the plate with 3 outs remaining.
Hey folks, Clint Mack here with Wiesner Chevrolet in Huntsville. If you've been looking for a great deal, don't look any further than Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. Come get a crew cab $1,500 truck and take up to $10,000 off the MSRP. We have Chevy Trax as low as $20,995. Do you want to go all electric? We have the all-new Bolt EV, Bolt EUV, and the Chevy Blazer. Do you need a heavy-duty truck? We've got 3/4 tons and 1 tons in stock ready for you to take home now. Some restrictions may apply, so hurry to Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville and take advantage of these great deals and great inventory, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com.
That's at 7.
Back here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Now on the mound for the Whitehouse Wildcats, coming in relief of Michael Dodowski. It's going to be number 8, Dylan Acker. Christian, this wind is still picking up. That's usually signs that a good storm is moving in.
Yeah, you know, it's Texas. It's much needed for some rain. But right now I want to try and get this game done. No delays happening. But right now, if you're the Hornets, you want to try and, get some hits. New pitcher coming up and just try and not get shut out.
Still waiting to get things going here. Noah Nieto, Nolan Hunt, and Austin Taylor are due up. Starting with Noah Nieto, the catcher.
Now pitching for the Wildcats, number 8, Dylan Acker.
Acker, kind of almost as tall as Dodowski, right-hander, doesn't really throw as hard. Of course, at this level, it's hard to find. It's pretty rare to have 2 pitchers on the staff that can throw 90s. First pitch is low, below the knees. (1-0). Early on that swing, it's 1-1. Pitch just below the knees. It's 2-1. No outs. Chopper slowly. Third baseman has it. Throw on the first in time. 1 away. Good play out at third by Kyle Addy. And Nolan Hunt now steps in with Austin Taylor waiting in the non-deck circle. Hornets down to their final 2 outs. Hunt ducks down and nearly got him. It's 1-0. High and in. Hitter's count is high and in again. 4-3 at 3-0 Pitch coming up. Austin Taylor waiting in the odd deck circle. Pitch. It's a squibber off the end of the bat to Taylor. Runs the count to 3-1.
See if Hunt can get a hit to at least have a good day today.
Another pitch. Swing and a miss. May have just barely tipped it. It's 3-2. Dylan Acker looking to work the clean inning here and secure the win for Whitehouse. Pitch. Popped up. Looks like it's staying in play. McCord there. Backs up against Hunt. And Hunt's going to get called out on interference.
Now batting number 1, Austin Taylor.
Final out for the Hornets, a ground ball right side, right to the first baseman in Woodley. And that'll do it for the Whitehouse Wildcats getting the victory, and they no-hit, combined no-hit the Huntsville Hornets to win it 9-0. Whitehouse takes the game 1. They're up 1-0 in this 3-game series. We'll be right back after this for the Bill Vick Ford post-game wrap-up. Coming your way after this on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
I'm Kobe Lovell, 2020 World Champion hitter, 7-time NFR qualifier.
I'm Ricky Canton, 15-time NFR qualifier, and currently hold the world's record in the calf rovement.
I'm Cody Johnson. I'm a platinum recording country music artist, cowboy team roper.
And I'm No Bull Bill, and I sell trucks. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, at least I sell them to the cool people.
Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, KSAM1017.com.
At Mid-South Fiber Internet, we understand the importance of quality service.
We don't just work here, we live here too.
Helping our communities any way we can.
Connecting communities one line at a time.
Working around the clock for you.
We are committed to service.
Committed to our communities.
We are committed to you.
Mid-South Fiber Internet, local, reliable service you can count on. Sign up today at midsouthfiber.com.
Huntsville wakes up to the all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy. Get a positive start on your workday with local news, weather and sports, and some inspiration and laughs to warm you like a hot cup of coffee. And now you can join the daily conversation with Brian and Tracy by calling or texting the KSAM listener line at 936-295-4102. Come on, neighbor. The all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy on 101.7 KSAM.
Affordable Plumbing Incorporated in Huntsville is a proud supporter of Hornet softball and baseball. Family owned and operated since 2000, Affordable Plumbing serves the plumbing needs of Huntsville, New Waverly, Trinity, and other surrounding areas. The company is backed by years and years of experience and strives to support the community in a courteous and professional manner for all your plumbing needs. Call them at 936-291-7886. Again, that's Affordable Plumbing at 936-291-7886. Sting 'em, Hornets!
Find us on social media on both Facebook and X at KSAM-1017. Also be sure to subscribe to the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything going on with your hometown radio station.
Welcome back to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. We're live here for the Bill Fick Ford post-game wrap-up. Christian, we're going to have to wrap this up because we got storms coming on into Whitehouse, but just your thoughts on the matchup here tonight and what the Hornets have to do in order to try to tie up this series back home in Huntsville, Texas.
Thought starting out, it was good energy. You know, it was a real playoff atmosphere. It was good, a good start, first 2 innings, but just that first in the 3rd inning, that leadoff double into left center, that kind of sparked it up for the Wildcats, and that's when they started to get going. Hornets just unfortunately just couldn't get anything out into the outfield, over the infield, and just fortunately wasn't able to get a hit tonight. But you move on. Now you have a home game in Huntsville at home. You know you have your guy in Van to pitch. We'll see when that game will happen. Not sure if it'll be still on Friday, depending on how the weather upholds.
Well, it might get moved up to Thursday, but of course you can keep up to date on all things Huntsville Hornets broadcast through on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network through all social medias on X/Twitter and Facebook at KSAM-1017. If you were any Whitehouse fans that are in attendance tonight and know anybody that won't be able to make it out to Huntsville, Texas, of course we know it's a 2.5-hour drive. Be sure you share this YouTube channel, 101.7 KSAM. Share it, and of course, if you could be so kind, subscribe to the KSAM 1017
Hit the bell.
channel. Hit the bell. Hit the bell too. Notifications. Come on. We gotta get those notifications in. Well, your player of the game presented by Bill Fick Ford. I know at the end of the day his line didn't look too well, but I gotta give it to Christian Wimberly, the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, you know, he came in with bases loaded. Fortunately, he had 1 pass ball, but after that was able to get out of the inning, even leaving some innings scoreless. But yeah, the lefty came in, did his job, did it well, and you know, like we said, sophomore, doesn't have much experience and able to work in a playoff atmosphere, especially with how rowdy the bench was behind home plate. Did a good job, say, for just not allowing as many runs as could have been possible.
I mean, a year ago he was playing freshman ball. He was playing freshman ball a year ago, and he was able to get some key outs in a playoff game in the by-district round against the number 8 team in the state of Texas in 5A. Your player of the game presented by Bill Fick Ford, Christian Wimberly, and your play of the game presented by Bill Fick Ford. It's going to go to that Austin Taylor sliding catch on the knees. Was, of course, a big out in that second inning, rather, to keep things level. Nothing at the time of that game. Christian, before we get on and get out of here, any final thoughts before we head back home to Huntsville to try to get away from the storm that is coming our way?
Like I said, it was a good start. You know, you were right there with the Wildcats. Did a good job holding the bunts in the beginning. Just got away, but now you move on. You have more confidence on the mound. You're at home. You have your fans coming out to that game, especially. And yeah, just turn around. Practice what you can. If you have an extra day, we'll see what happens. And just, like we said, have short-term memory, move on to the next one.
Absolutely.
And that's all you can do.
Absolutely. 100% agree with you on that. Folks, that will conclude this presentation of the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. Huntsville Hornet Baseball on the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel, powered by KSAM Sports. Of course, keep an eye out, see what happens with Game 2. It is still scheduled to happen on Friday, but there are some murmurs going around that it could happen on Thursday due to the weather. So stay tuned for that. We will have the updates when they come our way. Folks, tonight's broadcast of the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network of Huntsville Hornet Baseball is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any other transmission or accounts of the game without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and Huntsville High School Athletics is strictly prohibited. For our executive producer, Jordan Smith, Carlos Zimmerman as well, back at the studio for my camera operator and color analyst, Christian Cortez. I'm Collin Neill saying so long for now. If you are a Hornet fan that drove all the way out here, please drive back to Huntsville safely. If you're a Whitehouse fan tuning in or in the stands tonight, drive back home safely as well. And stay safe out there, everyone, for the weather that is coming in tonight and into tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. Have a good rest of your week as well. We were back for Game 2, originally scheduled for Friday.